Greetings. My name is Junior Lazaro, and today I will be presenting my speech on wildland firefighting. So I'd like to start off with saying, what exactly is a wildland firefighter or a woodland firefighter? A wildland firefighter can be described as a specialized type of firefighter that mitigates and suppresses the spread of forest fires. And I'd like to go a little bit into my experience on or my background as one for over 4 years now. I started in the year 2019 when I was around 19 years old. I uh, I first started because my dad got me into it. This gentleman over here in the red hard hat. He had has been a firefighter for as long as I've known. I think maybe 27 years now. But this picture was actually taken um, my year, my second year of being one, my second season in New Mexico, Mora County. We were stacking sandbags to prevent a flood that was to prevent floods that were happening because of a fire that happened just weeks prior that had left the landscape just barren and um, just not that much structure to protect against the the rainy season that was incoming. But this year, I spent a lot of time in Oregon and Washington, and as this clip is about to show, wildland firefighting uh, is a dangerous, job. It's a dangerous career, and that leads me into my topics on why I believe that fire wildland firefighters are one of the most overlooked first responders in America. Overlooked, but not underappreciated, mind you, because during what I had just explained with Morgan County, it was a really eye-opening experience for me, just seeing how devastated these people were, and it really showed me how important of a first we are as first responders. But like I said, um, I think or I believe we're overlooked due to the lack of progress in legislation in the different hazards uh, that we face that aren't explored enough, physically and emotionally, like our mental health. And today I will inform you of the struggles that we go through while combating these fires and the mindset that keeps us going throughout the season, and how it helps us cope, and how we can improve legislation to combat the shortage and have a stable and universal pay grade. I will be using um, this article um, for the second season in a row. Wildland firefighter pay could fall off. This article explains that during this 2024 season, there was a temporary pay increase, yes, but um, as in the month of September, it was actually discussed that it would be retracted back to the original pay grade, which during the government shutdown of the 2025 fiscal year, uh, and this, of course, affects a lot of firefighters' retention. A lot of people tell us why we do it, or a lot of people. Uh, I just like to start off by saying we don't all do it for the money, or we don't do it just for the money. A lot of us don't just do it for the money, but um, it's we have um, I have coworkers that have families and other responsibilities that they need to tend to, but it's just a deal breaker for them not being able to support their family with what they're paid with. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to um, you know um, have an agency where it pays well, but um, a lot of other agencies just the payroll is considered very subpar or under um, undervalued, uh, less than minimum wage at times. But this impacts our retention within the workforce because of people quitting for a better pay, uh, finding somewhere else, um, whether that be with another agency or contract. You know, it's it affects us both. But um, I also like to give an example. Uh, in the podcast Life with Fire with Amanda Montai, um, she interviews Riston Bolek, who was a scholarship winner, who had 7 years' experience as a wildland firefighter, and he discussed how he struggles with balancing his home and work life. We're out there just weeks or months at a time, and it can get lonely, and um, just it shows why um, suicide is one of the leading causes of death in firefighters. Even if we're among our crew, there's times where we are just in such areas where there's no, just isolation, just um, there's not a way to communicate with our families back home, whether that be with FaceTiming or even just a simple phone call. But um, many people get used to it, but a lot of it's remote places that we're sent to, but um, which is why you know um, many have depression or feel depression at times, and like I said, is one of the biggest causes of suicide among wildland firefighters for a reason. I'd also like to go into climate change and you know our impact as well, um, and resources being stretched thin because of this, um, of wildland fire, climate change. Alaska on fire, homes inevitable to burn. These are all just topics that are discussed, among us. The rising global temperature has affected, how we fight fires as well. With My dad actually got to visit Alaska, um, and he described it as just a hellhole full of giant mosquitoes and the tundra being spongy and squishy, surprisingly. But he told me that the sun over there never set, and that it would look like morning during that. I think it was the summer solstice. But he told me that the puddles were also deceptively, deep, just 1 foot in and your shoulder neck down. But we've had to adapt to these environments as firefighters, and climate change has demanded more resources, causing them to be, like I said, stretched thin. When a country like Australia is in a state of emergency because of wildland fires, and other countries as well providing their resources with each other, it's still not enough, and that's what leads me to legislation changes. Just homes being built in areas where they're not supposed to, and as urbanization increases, we see these homes being built in fire-prone areas where it's um, these real estaters and just the sellers, they don't care that they're fire prone. They say that um, they'll have their own. They'll make excuses and just say some things like, oh, we've there's this thing that they're doing now, which they are coating like these homes in like protective like insulation kind of, that say they're more resistant to fires, but these are just band-aid solutions. They're not getting to the real issues, which are the lawmakers and the senators, or just the um, there needs to be legislation changes in order to prevent this. This I had an incident, or I had an experience where I saw this firsthand. During the the park fire, which is one of the most devastating fires I've also been to as well, and was also a big eye opener to me. But these people, their homes, their lives, everything, it all could have been prevented if we you know um, just kept people away from these, the outskirts, of the fire prone areas. Um, in California, just managing private areas with the same standards as public lands, it can be such a difficult issue for us just to know. where we and where not, um, we could manage these areas, um, as well as fireland or wildland fire progression. How you know we've adapted to making more changes in suppression and mitigation. Advancements in technology have allowed us to fight fire differently. We There has been such advancement in technology, with drones, being able to see the area, and but it's still not enough. It's just not enough with, you know, um, which back in the day, my father used to tell me that a lot of firefighters used to lose their life a lot more often because they would go direct. We've developed indirect tactics now, which allow us to better manage the fire without using as much resources as we used to, which leads me into backburning. Backburning has become one of the most used tactics of firefighters, which involves burning an area that is uh, a buildup of combustibles like slash and brush, and um, allowing it just to burn and clear, so that it's already burned and the fire can't progress as much in here. Fighting fire with fire, um, is a common term for a reason, and this improved progress in improving this, um, radar mapping as well, and um, we're even using AI to be able to predict how fires are gonna, fire behavior is gonna happen. But um, this all leads me to, you know, um, the saying, only you can stop wildfires used to be the saying back then, which, as we know now, still holds true to an extent. Which, like I said, we a lot of uh, because we went into more direct tactics in the past, you know, there just hasn't been a management. More mitigation is what we need to prevent these fires from spreading into these areas, and how we can all prevent this if we focus more on mitigation as well. I'd like to recap and explain how um, firefighter mental health and is all affected by these stretched thin resources, causes us to work more hours and just be less with our families, which it's just it's all a combination of things that really affected wildland firefighters, and I really hope legislation or changes can be made. And yeah, just I hope I gave you insight into what it's like being a wildland firefighter and the issues we have to overcome as well. This is also a clip where I was in Washington. Fire is such a magnificent but terrifying thing at such the same time. But I will now be taking feedback and questions. Thank you.